One of the best parts of Bachelor in Paradise are their intro packages, and we are reacting to this year's favorites. Hey guys, and welcome back to another Shared News. We wanted to do a little deeper dive and discussion about this year's Bachelor in Paradise intro packages. But before we get into it, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe to our channel so you never miss out on any future videos. I'm joined today by Kayla Thompson, one of my favorite people to break down all things Bachelor Nation with. Overall, Kayla, what did you think about this year's intro packages? I feel like it's something we all look forward to and look forward to seeing as we get new cast members and exactly what they're going to bring to our screens.
Allie, not gonna lie, I was kind of like, what? For most of them? There were a couple that I liked, but then others I was like, this has nothing to do with anything, or it just was
Mm-hmm.
clearly rushed, or it was kind of lacking for me. But there are a few like bright spots, I think. Maybe I'm just misremembering the intro packages just kind of all being like that for every season,
Mm-hmm.
but it's definitely just like a fun thing that they do every year that I appreciate to kind of like, I don't know, lean into the meme of it all that Bachelor in Paradise can be, you know? So I at least
Yeah.
appreciate it for that.
Yeah, there were a couple where I was like, okay, am I missing something? Am I not getting an inside joke here? And I'm like, nope, I just think, there's always a couple people that just have a very basic intro package, but I guess it just
Yeah.
makes the actual fun ones stand out. So let's just dive right into a few of our favorites from this season of Bachelor in Paradise. Champion. Champion of the grill, champion of the beach, champion of our hearts. I mean, not only is he grilling, they put him in this like collared shirt and the apron. Like
Yeah.
they just thought it all
Yeah.
out because it wouldn't have had the same effect if he would have just been there, in boxers, like trying to look hot. Like that's not Michael's thing. Like he is a dad. He's there for such the right reasons. And like this just cracked me up because it's as if they took him out of Ohio and just put him on the beaches of Mexico and didn't change a single thing.
Yeah. They literally, like, stole him from, like, a kid's, like, birthday party from James' like, birthday
Mhm.
party and just, like, stuck him on the beach, like, to grill. Yeah, you're right. Love the touch of, like, the polo shirt, and even, like, the watch and his hand on his hip, like, it's just so perfect for Michael. He looks like he's fresh out of, like, one of those, like, grill catalogs or something, like, one of
Yep,
those, like, old magazines. Yeah, this was probably my
exactly. No,
favorite one.
he's killing it. Yeah, like I said, between
Yeah.
Michael and Justin, those are my favorites. Logan made the most sense because of his season. Honestly, I feel like the guys were the ones stepping it up with their intro packages. I don't know how much control they
Yeah.
have over their own, but honestly, the girls might need to up their game because compared to the props and the stories that these guys
Yeah.
are telling, I think
It's
we have
true.
some room for improvement on the ladies' side.
It's very true. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we see Brandon, he not only has the ring, but he was digging for the ring in a weird way. So it was
Yeah.
buried underneath the sand. He whips out this ring. Obviously, it's like it might be a play on the fact that he was about to propose to Michelle. He really is ready
Mhm.
to get engaged. That poor ring, though,
Mhm.
I'm just confused why we had to bury it in the sand and then scoop it back out. It was very animalistic, but I mean, he looks good. I mean, Brandon, it would be hard
Yeah.
for him not to look good. He's a very attractive man. So
Yeah.
I mean, if I had to rank it, 7 out of 10, 6 or 7.
Mm. Okay, 7 out of 10. Okay. You know what though, Allie? I think I get like the inside joke here with him digging it out of the sand because on the finale of Michelle's season, he threw apparently, allegedly threw his ring
Oh.
like out into like
Mhm.
the sand or the ocean or whatever. And so I think they were kind of
Mhm.
playing off of that.
He
Apparently, though,
found
I heard
it.
on a
I see.
podcast that it wasn't even the ring. It was like some gummy bears or something he had in his pocket, random. But I think that's what it was about, like with him digging it out of the sand. And like,
I
yeah,
see.
I think also Brandon is clearly someone who's here. Like he's zeroed in on Serene. He's clearly gonna like try to go to the end with her. Totally could see him getting engaged. So I think it works for me. I think Brandon's is more of like an 8 or a 9 because
Mhm.
some some, history to it. I was like, "Oh, okay, it makes sense." And then it kind of goes with him as like a character, on Paradise.
Yep.
So I liked it. That was cute.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot more sense now. Now I will take, yeah, I might bump up my rating now that it makes more sense to dig it out of the sand. And Genevieve kind of just has like the quintessential, basic, but in a good way, like Bachelor in Paradise intro package. She's at the pool, she's taking a sip out of her drink, she looks great. There's nothing like necessarily super comical or like meme like about this, but I don't necessarily think that she needs that. It was a really cute shot. Um yeah,
Yeah.
not much to critique or really say about Genevieve. I would say it's a good one for her.
Yeah, I think it's a good one for her. I mean, it was cute and sweet and I think simple. But if anyone would have like a meme, it could have been Genevieve with like crying. I don't know.
Oh
Like
yeah.
she's been crying a lot this past couple episodes. So maybe they could have played on that. But I think this definitely still works for her. I like this for her.
I swear that I could see forever in your eyes.
Teddy makes sense. She has a teddy bear. She
Yeah.
gives it a kiss. I mean, Teddy's just very. I think she's has an old soul, but she is very like youthful and like has this very like young energy about her. So makes sense not only with her name, but like with the bear. It was very sweet, and I feel like it was very her. Makes sense to me. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just think she's like a very bubbly, vibrant personality.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it works, obviously, with her name. And she is just such a sweet little teddy bear. It's like it's perfect that her name is kind of reflective of her as a person. So I think this was kind of like a no-brainer. They're like, "Oh, let's just give her like a huge teddy bear," you know.
Hmm.
And I think it's actually cute too that her and Andrew connected on the beach because Andrew is like, kind of like a big teddy bear himself. So it kind of like works on that end as
Yeah.
well. So yeah, it's cute.
We got Andrew dancing on the beach. I don't know what that is. I'm going to need Len Goodman to help me out with this one. If it's like a cha cha or a salsa or a samba, I'm not really sure. Some steps back and forth. This made sense to me for Andrew. Like, he is a goofy guy. He loves to perform. Like, he entered Katie's season using a fake accent. Like, he's just that type of guy. So I loved little dance
Yeah.
moves. He looks great. Yeah, I liked it. It was simple, but he's Andrew S. I think he speaks for himself and he didn't need to have a bunch of props or
Mhm.
anything crazy going on.
Yeah, I agree. I think, it worked for him, the little, like, goofy I think it was like a little cha-cha, like a little cha-cha
Mhm.
step, and then he kinda, like, did the, like, extra move at the end as just, like, him being funny, and he kinda laughs at himself. I think that worked perfectly for him. So, sorry, y'all, this fly just flew up my face. Hold on. Oh, sorry. Let me take that back. That just really just made me weak. Sorry. Um, okay, here we go. Yeah, I think the little cha-cha like worked for him. And then at the end, he just kind of did like a hard stop, which was just like, it was just funny and goofy. And I think it, like what you were saying, it works for Andrew. Andrew doesn't have to do too much.
Mhm.
And yeah, he looks great. So something simple and fun and like shows his personality. Thought it was good.
This one makes
Hmm.
sense. Obviously, we know Serene's a teacher. She had her whole, intro package episode 1 of her in the classroom, leaving for the summer, teaching's done. So, makes sense. I think similar to Casey, it makes sense in my mind. They could have taken it a step further.
Hmm.
And maybe just made it more of like a legit classroom or maybe put her in something different wardrobe wise, but overall,
Yeah.
it worked for me.
Yeah, it works. You know, I think it's cute. Maybe even like an apple or something. Like, oh, like
Mhm.
I don't know why I want these to be like more sexy, but like biting an apple or something too. I don't know. Like, um, I don't know. So kind of playing off the teacher vibe, but like making it romantic, not just like,
Mhm.
oh, out for the summer. Like, I think
Yep.
there's a connection there. I think they could have made, but I mean, it's cute. Serene is she's so cute, so it doesn't even really matter.
And in your arms, salvation's
Love Shanae. Love the fire going on behind her and she's just kind of staring at us. It reminds me of the meme of that little girl who has kind of like the
Yes.
creepy weird smile and there's like the fire going on behind her. So I don't know if that's what they were going for. But
I
Shanae
think
is leaning
so.
into the fact that she didn't have the greatest edit. She didn't have the greatest time on Clayton's season. And so she's leaning into it in a funny way. And I thought this was great. I'm like, if you can make fun of yourself, you automatically I have more respect for you.
Yeah, I like that they're just kinda leaning into it. I think that's the way to go, to not, like, completely try to, like, to not completely, try to forget about, like, her edit on Clayton's season and how she was on Clayton's season, but kinda just bring it in like, a funny way, like, in her intro package, and
Mhm.
it's totally a play off that meme. I saw that on Twitter. I was like, "Yeah, production absolutely thought about that," and the fact that they did it, I don't know if that's a real, like, fire that they built. I think they might have probably did it like, they probably just played with some Photoshop, but super smart, loved it. I think this is actually one of my favorites, to be honest.
And then in Johnny's one, this started out really panned in on his face. He had water in his face as if he was surfing. Pans out, his surfboard isn't even in the ocean; it's on the sand. So, I mean, definitely very comical, very funny. We know he's a goofy guy and has a sense of humor. He was one of Gabby's, final men on her season, and she's obviously super funny as well. So, it made sense for Johnny. Gave me a little chuckle, if you will. And if I were to rate it, maybe an 8, 7 or an 8.
Okay. I don't know. I didn't wasn't feeling this one. I felt like it had nothing to do with
No?
Johnny at all. Like, no, I don't know. I maybe something with like rapping or
Mm,
something like that. I don't know, but yeah, definitely. I think the comical side of it, yes, I see that. But it just again was kind of like they just pulled it out of a hat. Like, oh, Johnny, why don't you do this?
yeah.
Okay, cool, whatever. But I don't know. Still kind of random.
All right, so here we have Haley. She's showering. The first thing I notice is when she's showering, I mean, obviously it's not like real. Like she's just kind of patting her head down with the water. And I'm like, water is just a complicated element to work with. I feel like people think it's going to look a lot hotter than it does. So I feel for Haley because I'm like, this is an awkward pose. And I don't know why you're showering. If you need something in water, just like go out to the ocean. I don't know. This one was just it was awkward for me, and I kind of felt bad for
Yeah.
her.
Yeah, I don't think it did anything for Haley. Like, she should have just had a basic one because we don't really know her well. So
Mhm.
I don't know. This wasn't like outlandish, but yeah, it just made her seem. It was just awkward. I agree. So I just feel like she should have just done something cute, like sipped a drink and keep pushing because
Exactly.
the
Yeah.
shower was just like it's not working for me.
It's
But
too much
she
happening.
probably was
It's
just
too much going
going along
on.
with it.
But
Yeah.
Not so far away. It's getting closer.
okay, and so here we have Brittany's. She's making sandcastles. She's clearly very impressed with her abilities to make sandcastles. I mean, I was a little disappointed by this just because I feel like Brittany got such a bad like she just the rumors that Anna Redmond started making about her. We didn't get a lot from Brittany, and what we did get from Brittany on her season was a lot of like misconstrued information about how she spent her time in Chicago. And so I was like, this is her time to actually make people remember her. And I was a little
Mhm.
disappointed by the fact that it was just making sandcastles.
Yeah. It was just kind of random. I think Britney's so cute no matter what. Like I follow her on Instagram and her Instagram is fire. Like she is gorgeous. So I wish she kind of did something just like I don't know, like something a little more like hot and spicy. But I think the
Mhm.
sandcastle bit does play on her like sweet side, but I don't know. It
Mhm.
was still kind of random. I agree. Most of these are random, Allison.
I know. I'm just gonna have the same feedback for everyone. I promise I'll spice it up. I'll find new ways to express my disappointment. Ugh. Seriously, I here's the thing. My award for the best intro, it's gonna be either Michael A or Justin. And it's because they both played on who they are. We all remember the
Mhm.
painting date with Justin on Katie's
Yeah.
season. It was the same one where Blake Moyens had to be blurred out or blacked out. And it was Justin started fully just breaking the fourth wall and staring directly into the camera with his like iconic facial expressions. That's the reason we all remember him.
Yep.
And so I was
Yeah.
so excited that they just kind of gave us a reenactment of that date. and he killed it. I mean, look at that expression. The man's doing great.
Yeah, I liked this. I like this for Justin. I thought that was like smart. I think they like thought about that before even filming this intro stuff. They were like, "Oh, Justin's absolutely going to do." I mean, they had to go get the easel, they had to get the canvas. Like
Hmm.
they thought about it. So I definitely commend production for like, the creativity of it. And yeah, like it instantly reminded me of that moment from Katie's season. So I loved it. And it brings out Justin's like goofy side again. So super cute. Yeah, I like this one a lot.
And then we have Jill here coming up from the ocean. She has her paws up. Obviously, this is probably a note to her cat, who she loves a lot. We even saw in her kind of intro package on the first episode that she has a stuffed version of her same cat. So she's a cat lady. I think she only has one, but she gives me the vibes that maybe she could, be a cat lady at some point that has many, many cats. But for now, she's just giving us her best impersonation of her feline friends, and it's very Jill. It makes sense.
Very Jill. It's very Jill. And what's funny too is that it's definitely playing off of her cat thing with on Clayton season, but also she's kind of got this spiciness to her too. She's got this bite
Mhm.
that we've been seeing all season so far. So I think it kind of works both ways. So I like Jill. I don't know about the crawling part in the beginning, but at least I was like, oh, okay, I get it.
Closer every day, almost paradise. Almost.
So, if we needed an inside joke, if we needed a meme, Hunter is here to deliver. Obviously, this is a reference to in the first episode, she talked about having IBS, having both kinds of IBS, and how that's going to affect her time on the beach. Yeah, it's an interesting way to make a statement. It's memorable. Unfortunately, we know that Hunter did go home in the last rose ceremony. So, unfortunately, now pretty much all we know about Hunter is that she has IBS. So, it's
Yeah.
it's just a long lasting, interesting statement to give to America.
It's true. I mean, I think I get the why Hunter kind of went with the like, I have IBS. Like, ha ha ha, isn't that funny? But at the same time, it's like, it's a little cringe, to be honest.
Hmm.
And I don't think that was the thing that I remembered about Hunter, like on Clayton season. Like, I remember Hunter having a lot of like depth and her getting through like a big hump of her relationship, like past
Yep.
relationships. And so I'm like, it's kind of random that she went with this like IBS thing, but I get why
Yep.
maybe I think it works for the intro of it all because it's yeah, they could throw this toilet paper at her and it's like funny, but I don't know, it is weird that that's kind of like the thing we're left with her is that she has IBS. Oh man.
Oh, Sally. Sally, 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 Sally. Is this even Sally's suitcase? We don't really know.
Right, the
I'm glad it's
question
at
mark
least
is
zipped
is
back
saying it
up.
all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
glad that it's zipped back up. Hopefully, the waffle iron and the vibrator and the extensions all made it back safely. I mean, they're treating it well. It has its own drink. I don't know if they put any SPF on it before it was out in the sun, but just an interesting moment. It's
Allie.
just it's giving. Not
Yeah.
sure, not sure what it's giving, but it's giving.
I was confused. I was confused because I'm like, is Sally really coming? Like, why are you guys giving her suitcase and intro package? Like, so apparently maybe she is gonna come. Not sure, I guess. I mean, I think we actually know we saw it in the preview. So she is gonna come. But yeah, I think they put a bikini on it. I mean, they got a drink, sitting in a chair. Like, I agree, they're treating it right. So I just love that the production is fully going into this whole Sally thing. Like they're fully leaning into this meme that it is. I
Hmm.
think it's pretty funny.
Similar to Lace. I mean, I kind of understand it in the context. Right before this, you saw the footage of the men working out on the beach. She has the binoculars aimed towards the beach and then brings them back. So I'm sure they were trying to edit it in a way that maybe Sierra is watching the men work out. But I don't know. I think Sierra is
Mm,
like so cute and sweet and has always just like been the voice of reason. Like I've loved watching her with Michael A. And so I'm like, I wish she would have gotten more of a moment, more than just the binoculars.
yeah. Yeah, I hear you. I think I was looking for something like that. Like something that went along with just the wisdom that she has and kind of like what you were just saying. So maybe the binoculars is kind of a play off of like her being able to kind of see through or like reading people. I don't know. Maybe I'm like, it's a
Mm.
stretch. Um, but yeah, I think also it could be like they cut that working out, the guys working out, and then her with the binoculars thing. I think maybe that was probably what it was. But yeah, I wish that they would have done something around more of that showcases her. I agree. But at least it's something a little different with binoculars than just like
Yep.
a drink or her
Hmm.
taking shots or something. Like, I don't know. I thought it was okay. Yeah. I think there could have been more for her, but
Paradise. How could we ask for more?
We have Victoria. Victoria was obviously a newcomer this week. She's just kind of doing like a simple dance. And it also makes me wonder, too, when you have someone come in late, do they get the same time and attention for an intro package as the original cast? You know what I mean? Because, like, maybe the original cast who's all there has a day set out to film all these things. And maybe Victoria being added in late is just like, here, quick few seconds, let's get you dancing. I think it'll be interesting to
yeah.
see like the Aaron and the James and the Rodney
Hmm.
intros next week and see again, are they given the same amount of props and time and focus as the original cast
Mm,
members, you could say. But I mean, she looks
yeah.
great. It's again similar to maybe a Genevieve intro, just very simple, but it works. And so she's our latest addition. We'll have to see what the guys bring to us next week on the next episode. So obviously we have Jacob here wearing his leaf, the same leaf, I would assume, unless they got him a new one that he wore when he first entered the beach. He is running with this Tarzan kind of mantra. I think that's something that actually popped up on Twitter, in between his time on Rachel and Gabby season and on Bachelor in Paradise, because it wasn't really something that was discussed during his season, but it was clear by the time he entered the beach, he was Tarzan looking for his Jane. So he is running for it. Obviously, he's incredibly physically fit. I myself would not look this good in a leaf, but he rocks it. Proud of him, happy for him,
Rocks it.
hoping it stays in place.
Yeah, I think like, it works when he comes down, he's got the hair and then he went with the leaf and it's kind of like a whole thing now. But I think for this intro package, if you're gonna be Tarzan, like don't just he just kind of like did his arms like how he's doing, and it's just like that's not a Tarzan pose. Like at least like beat your
Yeah.
chest or something. Like I don't
Yep.
know. It was still kind of
Swing from a
awkward for
vine,
me.
give us something.
Swing from
Yeah.
a yeah, like, give me some production value, like, swing from something or, like, jump off of a rock or land like a gorilla, I
Yeah.
don't know, something other than
Let's be honest,
just,
Kayla, none of those
"Hey."
motions are going to work out well for that poor leaf. It's just going to be too much. Too much is going on.
It's true,
There's too much
it's
motion.
true. Yeah. Oh gosh.
Another intro that is just playing off of who we are. Justin's a painter, Kira's a doctor. She's got the stethoscope going on herself, which is an interesting process. She's wearing her lab coat. I mean, she's running with Dr. Kira, and I'm like, if I had a doctor in front of
Yeah.
my name, I'd probably be doing the same thing. It was a little. I wish she would have leaned into the humor a little bit. Maybe she wasn't super comfortable. It felt kind of very demure and almost like shy
Mm.
intimately while like having the stethoscope on yourself. So I was like, just
Yeah.
have more fun with it because it made me a little uncomfortable to
Yeah.
watch. But other than that, it makes sense.
Yeah, it made sense, she's a doctor, but I agree, it's like she was a little, like, stiff in it, um,
Hmm.
but, I think a lot of times these people aren't actors, so they're kinda like, "Okay, action," and they're they're just, like, doing their thing, but it's like they're kind of being a little awkward, so, um,
Yeah.
yeah, I do wish she did a little bit more with it, but she had the little wink at the end, so I was like, "Okay," she's like, "I'm a doctor, but I got a little something behind all that,
Hmm.
which we've seen. We've seen a lot of, so."
Her love language is the bedroom. And she's told us that before.
Mhm.
So
Oh, yes. Yes.
Okay, so this is one that I actually did understand. We see Logan looking between two drinks, not being able to make up his mind, and then when he shrugs, they kind of both fall. I think this is a direct call out to
Mm,
Gabby and Rachel's season of him going on Team
mhm.
Rachel, not being able to make up his mind, then going over to Team Gabby, not being able to decide between the two women. Now they're replaced with two cocktails. So I enjoyed this one. It made sense. It was humorous. And so I was like, yeah, this is what the intro packages should be. You take one part of their season, you amplify it into a bit, you make it tropical, and then it works.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. At first I didn't get it, but on rewatch, like right now, I'm like, "Oh, I get it now." And he kinda yeah, he tried to pick between 2 and ended up not working with either. So he's like, "Ugh, what can I do? I guess I'm just gonna be here on Paradise." So I did like that one, and I thought it worked for Logan. That was smart. Clever.
Okay,
Oh,
so we have
Casey.
Casey here with the glasses. I feel like this is kind of playing on the fact that, he is one of the older contestants on the beach, but it still was like fun and flirty and he whips the glasses off. I don't know. I'm like, for being one of the older contestants, I'm like, Casey's a good looking dude. So, but it's a cute little way to maybe play on that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think yes, I think that was what they chose to play on the older factor, but I feel like there was something else there. I don't know about glasses. Like it just was like maybe he had
Mm,
like a newspaper and like had like an ottoman or something he had his feet on and was
yes.
like,
We need like a
"Oh, hey, you guys
recliner
are
or
here."
something. Yeah.
Yeah. Something to really play on like the dad factor or something like with well, I think we might see Michael's, but yeah, I think I would have wanted a little bit more creativity. Like glasses is not
There we
enough. They
go.
should have thought more with Casey.
Just take it
Yeah,
one step further. I see. Yeah.
exactly.
And then, of course, Romeo, he's just being studious. He's reading a book. I mean, they talk about the man that he went to Harvard. Obviously, we have the name Romeo. So, between his intelligence and the name, it all makes sense that we'd have this very dramatic, scholarly shot. So, I thought it was good. I mean, it's hard to follow Michael A., but overall, I thought it was good.
Yeah, I was wondering if he was even reading like Shakespeare. I'm not sure what that book says. I can't see it from here, but that's where my brain went to like, oh, like he's reading like
Mm,
Romeo and Juliet by Shakespeare. So, but yeah, definitely works for Romeo. Made a lot of sense. Everyone gets it right away. If because he's clearly like nerdy kind of, and so I think he's also a doctor. And I'm not sure, but or maybe he's been to like Harvard or something like that. I don't remember, but yeah, we get it. He's studious.
All right, so this is the one that I even asked you, am I missing something? We see Lace kind of tumble off of where she was sitting, tries to save her drink. It kind of sloshes a little bit. And I'm like, are we missing a fall or something? Or is this just a classic, doesn't make much sense intro? Because to me, I missed any sort of point that it was trying to make, if it was trying to make a point.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I think maybe the one thing that comes to mind is on Ben Higgins' season, she was kind of known as like the party girl, like she was kind of
Mm,
getting drunk a lot, and so maybe it was like kind of playing off that and like kind of like sloppily falling off as she's trying to like hold her
yep.
drink. And Lace is kind of like she's had a little bit of some stumbles since she's been on on
Yeah.
Paradise this season. So maybe it's kind of mirroring that a little bit, but again, it's just like, Lace just fall. I don't know, just
Yeah.
kind of slip and fall off the ledge. They just kind of like came up with something really fast.
Yeah, I'm hoping for her there wasn't a ton of takes on this because that doesn't seem like something I'd want to repeat too many times, but
Yeah,
they got the
yeah,
shot they wanted, so I guess that's all that matters. Overall,
yeah.
I'm with you, Kayla. There were some good ones. I wish we maybe would have gotten a little bit more, but maybe we're thinking about it with rose-colored glasses and thinking that other intro packages were better than they were. We obviously need your guys' thoughts on all that. Are we making it up? Is this typical? Is it worse? Is it better than previous intro packages? Put your thoughts down in the comments below. And before you go, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any Bachelor Nation or pop culture updates. I'm your host, Allison Van Dam, joined today by Kayla Thompson. Our social handles are on the screen right now if you want to come give us a follow and come say hello. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.